Haunt Squad is on all of your favorite social media sites. You can find us at facebook.com/HauntSquad, twitter.com/HauntSquad, instagram.com/Haunt_squad, and search Haunt Squad on YouTube for podcast episodes and investigation videos. Stay spooky with Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad.
If you are looking for excitement, way beyond the normal, no. If you want to test your nerves beyond endurance,
I like to sing, dance, pretend, and I like to have fun.
In a world filled with supernatural phenomena, 3 explorers of the unknown answer the real questions concerning the field of paranormal investigation. Vinny Gomez, Natalie Jane, and Mike Wolfer guide you to the depths of paranormal studies, creepy movies, games, and comics, and more from the world of horror and geek culture. Turn out the lights, turn on your EMF detector, and prepare yourself for the Haunt Squad podcast.
a treasure chest of the macabre, madness, voodoo, vampires, torture, and terror. All the things that make life worth living.
You're my special friend.
What the hell was that?
Haunt Squad, on the cutting edge of stupidity.
God. I'm Vinny.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Natalie.
We are Haunt Squad, taking you through the world of the paranormal, comics, horror, and anything else in geek culture. Welcome.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, look.
What?
Here's the explanation of just what the hell that was.
Please.
And it's very vital to this week's episode. That song... Okay, no, it's got nothing to do with this week's
like,
episode.
really? Okay.
Natalie, explain what the heck that is.
Okay. In 1989, there was a show called Special Friends, and there was a segment called You on Kazoo. This particular segment, it's about 3.5 minutes, and last week it just went totally viral because of a trap remix made by Mike Diva.
It's awesome.
It's crazy. The kid in the video, who's now obviously an adult, his name is Brett Ambler, and he's been bombarded with some pretty amusing tweets, and he's been,
He's like close to 40, right? I mean, it was
probably
made in
something
89.
like that. Yeah. I say, close to my age or something, but he's been having fun with these tweets. Like, one of the tweets that I remember is something to the effect like, could Brett Ambler get a Oscar, retroactive, for his performance?
He deserves it. The video that goes with it, that's on YouTube. Now, if you look it up, it's what, Kazoo Kid Trap Remix?
If you just look up Kazoo Kid,
It'll
Kazoo
come
Kid
right
Trap
up.
Remix, it'll come up. And like I said, it's Mike Diva. He should be getting the credit for this. He created that.
Yeah. The video's insane. It's
It's great.
Some crazy video editing. At one point, the kid's he looks like one of the kids out of Village of the Damned. His eyes are all white. And it's just
there's some
booties
twerking
and
women. And
like solid gold Uzis.
Yes.
And like, oh my God. I don't know. It happened to be on my mind when I was putting together the intro. And I'm like, we're doing it. So
good
I did
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Simply amazing.
So what's been going on with you? Anything?
Nothing. Boy, the snowstorm and everything else, we haven't been able to get together.
was
I'm kind of
crazy.
happy that we're back together again.
That was just insanity.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we were snowed in and couldn't get out of the house for about a day.
Yeah.
And then the temperature went up to like 65 and it all melted.
Yeah. And then we had flooding. And then,
Yeah.
I saw pictures of you shoveling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I took pictures from the comfort of me hanging out of the bathroom window.
Yeah. Did we
It was
complain
great.
about the shoveling situation last week or the week before?
No.
About the situation
igloo?
with the cul-de-sac. We live in a cul-de-sac. There's a guy, we call him Santa Claus because he's got a white beard, and he drives the town snowplow truck. There's only one apparently, and if he shows up,
Yeah.
yeah, He comes in and plows all the snow into a big pile, and it's usually right in front of our house.
Yeah.
Like our driveway and our mailbox, and there's
Makes no sense whatsoever.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So,
Eventually,
neighbors decided to build an igloo in front of our house.
They did. They built an igloo, like tunneled into the pile.
And it was partially out in the street, but what they did was they also managed to pack all the snow down on our sidewalk. So as the snow is melting, the snow's melted everywhere else except for in front of our house.
Nice.
And so, it causes a problem because legally we're responsible for that. So if someone were to trip and fall, whatever, we could be,
That's true.
say, responsible. So Mike's out there, no one's cleaning up their mess. So Mike had to go out there and do it, and shovel out a parking spot in front of our house so that his son and daughter could, park in front of our house.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, trials and tribulations of owning your own place, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And we were stuck in the house for a couple of days. Well, actually, we're always stuck in the house.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of time to listen to podcasts and things like that. How the hell am I behind on the Last Real Heels podcast?
I don't know.
They
I
were
don't
just
even know.
banging them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had, like 3 or 4 or something that came out within...
They had 4, I believe, that
week
came
or-
out within a week.
Yeah.
It was with Angelico, Jeff Cobb,
Oh, that's
Famous
the dude
V.
that plays Matanza.
yes, and Krista Joseph. I was joking around with them because I said, I'm totally behind. I'm going to listen to the one with Hernandez right now. I guess that would have been 94. Oh, God, I don't do math. 94. So, I just listened to it. And then I look and they added 2 more. That's one with Angelico and Jeff Cobb. And then the next day, I believe, they added 2 more. And I'm like, you binche heels.
Wow.
Seriously.
Pete, wait, what was the meme that we saw? Pinchy Cool Arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peachy Cool Arrow.
Peachy, yeah.
Peachy Cool
Peachy
Arrow.
Cool Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Are there shows, have they had longer shows, or are they just like maybe 30 minutes for the interviews? I mean, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to listen, so.
They don't ramble on incessantly the way we do. We get right to the point.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And, yeah.
I don't know how long they usually are. Maybe about anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes or something. It kind of varies, but yeah, they get right to the point. They ask a lot of great questions in their interviews, and it's very entertaining.
Gotcha.
People have complained about our podcast.
No.
It's too long.
Really?
It's too long.
Oh.
Yeah.
Since when? Stop it. Who said it's too long?
People
Not that I've seen.
out there. Some
Nah.
people.
Oh, well,
Well-
maybe we should send somebody out there. And,
Well, my thought is, you can always just hit pause.
Exactly. Later.
Or just turn it off.
Yeah.
Or just, what? Just don't download it at all. Just don't listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't listen to us on Podomatic.
Yeah, we don't say anything
iTunes
important
or
anyway,
Stitcher.
so whatever.
And whatever you do, don't go to YouTube, where you can find us at Haunt Squad Paranormal Entertainment, where we have 33 episodes up. Don't go there and listen to any of those.
I would never.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, but Last Real Hills, they have 100 episodes out there.
Yeah. Wait, did they get 100?
That's the one with Krista Joseph.
Oh, man. I missed the celebration. We'll have to have our own celebration.
Yeah.
Drink some tequila.
Pop a few IPAs.
Oh, those
okay.
too.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what?
What?
Speaking of The Last Real Heels
Yeah.
and Lucha Underground.
Welcome to Lucha Underground!
What do you think of that?
Awesome.
Yet another opening, yet another segment. This whole podcast is going to be divided up into like 38 different segments, each with its own unique intro. If I have anything to do with it.
Exactly. If you have anything to say about it, that's how it's going down.
So this is going to be our little weekly Lucha Underground review bit that we're going to do. I wanted to mention our buddies J-Man and Urban, Last Real Heels. They have their awesome podcast where they talk about Lucha Underground at length every single week, and they have all these really cool interviews with all the luchadors. What they do and what we do, I see it as totally different because they know what they're talking about. Like they have all of the technical knowledge about wrestling. Their show is presented like from that aspect. Ours is just like from the horror fan perspective, like we focus on
The supernatural aspect. Yeah, horror.
like the story itself rather than, you know the moves. I don't know the names of all of those moves and
Well,
all
even
of that.
even the wrestlers, the luchadors themselves, a lot of them are from other, if you want to say companies. You know, some are from WWE, NXT, you know, Triple
Yeah.
A, things like that. I don't know their history, whereas they know them from way back.
They know all of that stuff. They know
Right.
they know guys who don't even have names yet, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
oh, there's that dude that we saw in that one match that was in South Africa, and I'm like, how do you keep it all straight?
Yeah.
They're like those sports analyst guys that we see like when we're
They
watching
know what
football.
breakfast they ate, what
Yeah.
diapers they wore,
Yeah.
and, you know, the last time they...
This is only the third game in the past 7 years that he's scored less than 2 points in a quarter. Wait,
Yeah.
what? How do you?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like I said, you know, I watched WWF all throughout the 80s, and that's
Yeah.
it. You know, and I mean, I would see little pieces here and there throughout the years, and it just never brought me back in, and Lucha Underground enveloped us, and there's no way out, and that's fine.
We're sinking. We're sinking in a sea of
I was going to
luchadors.
say, we're in Marty the Moth's cocoon, and there's
Oh my
no way
God.
out. And that's fine by me.
No, we're going to get to him. That guy. Oh my God. So this was the second episode of the season. Once again, freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we're going to do every week. We're just going to go, that was awesome.
Out of control.
That was awesome.
Oh my God, over the top. Yeah, we're just going to sit here and drool.
Oh my God. So it started with the Puma. Puma was working out in the locker room or the weight room or what. It kind of looks like the same thing. Pentagón shows up, basically told Puma, look, we're going to be a team. Mm-hmm. We're going after the Disciples of Death, who are the trios champions. Mm-hmm. And he tells him, when we're done with them, I'm coming after you. Mm-hmm. What a great way to persuade someone to come to your side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You and I are going to beat these guys, and then you're going down. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Puma was like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Now, the first big match of the night was...
Johnny Mundo and Killshot.
That was freaking awesome.
It was a great match.
That was a great match.
Yeah.
Killshot, he kind of came in maybe halfway to 2/3 of the way into the season last year. Mm-hmm. Just kind of came out of nowhere. That dude's got some moves, man.
He does, yeah. And it's, you know, cool against, you know, Johnny Mundo, the parkour.
Johnny Rudo.
Johnny Rudo. Why,
He's good.
Johnny? Why?
What?
He is good. He's very good. No denying that.
It was a great match. Mm-hmm. And that was another one that seemed like it went on forever.
And I couldn't tell who was going to win. Like,
Yeah.
both of them looked very evenly matched up.
Yeah, but Johnny took it.
He did.
He did.
And there was some excitement afterwards.
Yeah, which there always seems to be excitement. Just when you think it's over, it's not over. Because then Cage came in, and Cage is gunning for Johnny Mundo. I think Johnny Mundo... You know what? I don't even know what the deal is with Johnny Mundo. He talks a lot of shit, but then when you get down to it, he freaking runs, man. He takes off. Mm-hmm. And Cage came out, and that's exactly what happened. Johnny split just for
Johnny
like a minute or two. And then he came back in and like blindsided Cage from behind, and then he ran off again. But you know, already you can see Mil Muertes, who basically owns the temple, he's sitting there on his throne of skulls watching every match. And every one of these people that get in the ring, before they wrestle, they all stare him down and glare at him and say, I'm coming for you. So it's like everyone is against him, whether you're a face or a Rudo or whatever. It doesn't matter. They all want to go after him. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. And Cage did the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. He got up in that ring just so that he could get a better view of Mil and throw his challenge to him.
Yes.
Man, I don't know. Hey, of course, Mil's got a broken arm. Pentagón Jr.
Yeah.
broke his arm last week, so I don't know what he's going to do, if he's even going to wrestle. I don't know. But everybody wants a piece of him. Next thing was the ridiculous vignette with Marty the Moth and Sexy Star. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they are. I don't know if it's Marty's house or some seedy motel, or I don't know. Sexy Star's still tied up. Mm-hmm. And Marty's just taunting her. I don't know what the deal was with the clothing he had on. It was
He's
sort
lost
of,
it. He's completely
it's kind of
lost
retro
it.
looking.
And he plays, and I even tweeted him. I said he plays the perfect psycho. He does, and it made me laugh. Like, he was totally silly and out of his mind. It was great.
There was one part where he started laughing, and he did the crazy Bill Murray Caddyshack laugh. Mm-hmm. He did the same laugh. He's crazy. He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
I think it was J-Man, too, on their last podcast. He said, there's a lot of Little League baseball trophies in that place, because it just seemed like mommy's basement or something. It was freaking weird.
Oh, God.
But I don't know. So he's telling Sexy Star they're going back to the temple. Mm-hmm. Marty's bringing his sister They're all going together. What do you think? Do you think there's really a sister?
Does he have a split personality? I don't know.
I'm thinking like
a little loopy.
Exotico action coming
That would be fun.
It
if
would.
it was him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that would be great. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. That's one of the great things about the show.
Next up was that Darewolf intro, PJ Black,
Yep.
where he took on those bikers who were giving him shit out on the open road. And then that led into the match with the Mac.
Another spectacular match. Great.
Let me tell you something. Willie Mack, that dude is incredible. He's a huge guy, but he has got some ridiculous moves and does some crazy flips. He's very, very acrobatic, which you wouldn't
Yeah, he's
expect
strong
from a
and
guy
agile.
that size.
It's really,
yeah.
it's neat to watch him, yeah.
Another great match where I didn't know which way it was going.
I didn't either. I mean, Darewolf has a really cool style himself.
It's that, I don't even know what you call it. It's kind of quasi martial arts sort of thing. A lot of kicks and
Like street fighting or something.
Yeah.
It was kind of raw, but still.
So that was his debut. This is the first time we've seen him. So I liked it. I thought it was cool. But the Mac, oh man, I thought PJ Black had it. And now Willie Mack pulled out that move. Darewolf jumped off of the top of the ropes. And Willie Mack, I can't even describe it. He jumped up in the air, caught him in midair, and then brought him down on his knee and just, I don't know what that was. That he was out. End of match. Man.
Over.
I tweeted, that move knocked the air out of my lungs, and all I was doing was watching it on TV. Oh, man. It was spectacular.
Fabulous.
And you know what? Also, too, if Willie Mack's listening, the offer still stands. If he ever wants to come out here and investigate with Haunt Squad, we've got a spot for him if he's ever in the Philly area.
Yep. And next up, we got to look at Cobra Moon, a new luchador.
Oh, yeah.
Had a vignette with her.
Teaser thing. And
Yeah. And it was really cool because she was saying that, well, some people call me cold-blooded, sinful, evil, sexy, venomous. And I'm like, girl, I like her already. She sounds like danger. So
yeah.
Yeah, she should be interesting. We're going to see, I don't know if she's supposed to fight tomorrow. Not sure about those details, but we're supposed to see more of her.
Didn't it say something like next week or something at the end of that? Yeah, okay. So
Well, and then Lucha Underground even, what do you call those little graphics they create? They created one for her. And so, yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing something having to do with her this time.
So then the show wrapped up with the big match of the night. It was the Disciples of Death against Prince Puma and Pentagón Jr. I don't care. 3 against 2. Who cares? They didn't care either.
And I was asking you, I said, well, who's their third going to be? And you're like, I don't think there's going to be one.
They don't need a third.
That was great.
Great match.
Like, just people bouncing all over the place. I mean, Puma is just so, what's the word, springy?
Yeah.
He's just, he's like an acrobat, for God's sake. He's very, technico.
You know what was funny about this is that it was Pentagón Jr.'s idea. Puma's in there fighting 3 guys at once, getting his ass beat. Where's Pentagón? He's like walking around, strutting around the outside, signing autographs for people, talking to people in the audience.
That's what I said. He better watch his back.
It was almost like a trap, you know? Like he set
trying
Puma
to
up to get his
Puma
ass
out.
beat. Yeah. Puma finally, he did his 630 move on, you know what? I don't even know which guy it was. It was the one without the shirt with the gold mask.
Okay.
There's him. There's the one with the purple mask. And then there's the one with the black shirt.
You have
And I'm not
Trace, you have Barrio Negro, and then Sinestro something. I mean, I'm being put on the spot right now, so I'm not going to remember who's who or anything.
I can't get... I was going to look it up on the internet and see if I could find it, but I don't want to because
you don't
I'm
want to
afraid
spoil
of...
anything.
Yeah.
There's spoilers everywhere. Yeah, bastards.
Anyhow, he got the dude with the gold mask with the 630, but just before he jumped from the top rope, Pentagón strutted over, slapped his ass, he got the tag, jumps in the ring, pins a guy. Pentagón got the pin, and Puma was like, dude!
You just wanted to grab my butt. It was great.
And then the two of them went at it, just like Pentagón said.
I said, he better watch his back.
That's right. Pentagón got him down. He's getting ready to snap that arm. Puma got out of it, though.
He got out of it himself. He doesn't need any saving or, assistance. He did it himself.
Yeah. And once again, just when we thought the show was over, we got one final film vignette with El Dragon Azteca Jr. speaking to someone who was telling him this guy was supposed to get the mask. He was supposed to, take up the mantle of El Dragon Azteca. Mm-hmm. But he didn't. It was given to the guy who now has the mask. And then we see who he was talking to.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah.
That's
he
awesome.
said something like he chose a different mask or he has his own mask or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't wait for him to get in the ring.
Me
See
neither.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what? I'm really looking forward to El Jefe returning.
I know. We didn't see him last week.
We didn't. No.
Maybe tomorrow night.
Hopefully. Yeah, what are him and Matanza and the Black Lotus up to?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Everybody loves Dario Cueto.
How can you not?
So, another great episode. Can't wait for tomorrow night. Can't wait. Mm-hmm. You know what? We didn't mention earlier about the X-Files.
No, we didn't.
There was the 4th episode, right?
4th episode,
Yeah.
Home Again.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great episode.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool, but I also enjoyed the other story that was going on. Now, if you haven't watched it yet, then you probably don't want to listen to us, but Scully's mother dying and her dealing with that and just showing her personality again. You know, she's usually so stoic and hard-nosed, and it showed her, you know, her emotions, feelings, you know, leaning on Mulder, you know, crying on him. And I thought another great part was they mentioned William a lot, Mulder and Scully's son.
I'm wondering where that's going. Because it seems to be the recurring subplot through all the episodes.
I have a feeling maybe it's something they're setting up for the movie, because supposedly there's going to be a 3rd movie.
Oh.
Maybe it will have something to do with him, which would be great. But I thought that Gillian Anderson gave an exceptional performance, you know, dealing with her mother, and then later on when Mulder and Scully were sitting down on the bench and Scully had an urn with her mother's ashes, and specifically when she said, they were talking about William, she said, "I need to believe that we didn't treat him like trash." It was just a very emotional scene between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, hello, Oscar for Gillian Anderson. I thought it was really good. But yeah, I'm hoping that the whole thing with William maybe leads into the movie. I would love to know what's been going on with him. And
how old would he be, do you think? Like, real time has passed, right?
Real time has passed, so it's been 15 years.
Okay.
Since the last episode. And as far as I know, he was still an infant. He was a baby. Mm-hmm. So around 15, 16 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
so 2 more to go. And I'm just hoping that it's not the end there.
I can't believe it's almost over.
I know.
And the teaser for next week introduced kind of Scully and Mulder's doppelgangers, like a young couple who...
I recognize Lauren Ambrose, who's playing the female agent, obviously, but the male agent, I don't know who he is, but yeah, it was reminding me of their little mini-me's or something.
Yeah. I was wondering, too, if the ratings are really good, if they were going to, like, try to spin them off into their own series or something.
I hope not.
I don't know.
Because it just wouldn't compare. Now, maybe in a movie or something like that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's leading to.
Yeah. Well, it's good stuff, though.
Yes.
I like it. I like it very much.
You hear that?
What could that possibly mean? Look at Vinny. He's laughing over there. He's holding his face in his hand.
Oh, boy.
He can't even.
No, I can't. I almost started crying.
And he's wiping tears away from his eyes.
We've got a news flash.
Oh.
We've got another Haunt Squad news flash.
Whoa.
But you know what?
What?
This isn't even a news flash. This is old news.
It's a couple weeks old. Yeah, a few weeks old.
But it's making the rounds, and,
Yeah, the
a lot of
Huffington
people
Post and the Indy Star finally caught up, apparently.
Right.
Okay, so on January 19th, the Northwest Indiana Gazette reported that the Zach Bagans Demon House was demolished.
No. Huh?
Yeah.
What? Tell us more.
Well, this is the house that he bought in Gary, Indiana, that was reportedly haunted, where family members were possessed, and he's made his documentary there.
Right.
So, I forgot how much he paid for this house.
$35,000.
$35,000 he bought it for in Gary, Indiana.
Big spender.
Yeah.
His reason.
Yeah,
His
what-
reason
give
for
us- give us
destroying
that.
this is what Zach says. His reason for destroying the home will be presented in the documentary.
Now, I saw something that alluded to the fact that he said, well, there was something dangerous and whatever.
Intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So it must have been done in some dramatic way, too. He must have had,
I'm sure.
really
I
tough
wonder if they
decision.
blew it up like Michael Bay style, you know?
It had
just saw a lot
lions
of
and tigers
tractors in the
jumping out of it.
photos. To cleanse it
And
fully.
after it's all
Fire.
done, he says, "That's awesome," and then just keeps going.
And flexes.
Bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles jump out of it.
So, you know what? I think...
What do you think, Mike? Why do you think it was demolished?
I'm happy. I'm very happy that he did that because I think he was doing a service to the town of Gary, Indiana, and protecting all the local residents and neighbors of that house, because there was probably something legitimately evil, as Peter Cushing would have said. Actually, he used to say evil with like 3 syllables. Evil. Nobody said evil like Peter Cushing. Anyhow, I think it was a great thing that he did, because when that documentary airs, and we see what happened in that house, and we say, you know what, I think this is a bunch of bullshit, let's investigate ourselves. We can't. It's gone.
Oh.
Yeah. He did himself a favor. That's all he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically...
Was he saving the world, or was he doing
Saving himself.
Yeah.
Saving his ass.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
We
when the
shall
show
see.
airs.
I
When
can't
Mike
wait to
watches
see
it and gives me the Cliff Notes.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't know. You know what? Screw Haunt Squad, man. What do we know? We don't know what we're talking about.
Did we ever claim that?
Exactly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
We don't make any claims, no.
This is all just personal opinion.
Yeah, pretty
and it's all
much.
based on undiscovered evidence.
That will never be discovered because the house is destroyed anyway, so we'll never know.
It's just our personal experiences.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we're having fun.
Okay, so we'll see if it was all just a dream or a hoax or an imaginary story or, whatever. You know what?
What?
Another segue. Dreams.
You're the master of segues, you know that?
Not really.
Oh.
He's the master of tangents. We discussed it last
And
time.
I'm the Kickstarter lion tamer. I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, add that to the hero of cats.
Yeah. I have a lot.
Cats,
I have
yes.
a lot of titles, and
You do.
very few of which I actually live up to. But so my tangent, dreams. I want to throw this out there. I had a dream last night that was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, I was working in a gas station, like one of those kind of mini mart kind of gas stations.
Okay.
And Pentagón Jr. came in to get gas, but he wasn't in costume. He didn't have his costume on, and he was out there pumping gas. And the guy who owned the place was like, "Hey, I know you like Lucha Underground. Those guys come through here all the time and stop and get gas. That's Pentagón Jr. out there." And I was like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "Yeah, I know the guy. He's going to come in and pay for his gas and grab a candy bar or something. I'll introduce you." And I was like so excited. And he came in. He was about 6'3", very thin legs, real big upper body, and he had the head of Richard Keel. Jaws from.
Wow.
He looked just like Richard Keel, and I'm like, this guy's totally not what I was expecting.
God.
He was very nice though.
Okay.
But the first thing that tipped me off was that 6 foot, over 6 foot, 3, whatever, 6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It's strange. It's haunting me. Have you guys had any stupid, ridiculous dreams lately
None like that.
that you want to talk about?
Nothing that I want to talk about. I always have, I get interesting dreams. That's you know what? That's something that we are going to discuss in a future episode. Is sleep paralysis.
That's right.
Because that's something that I don't want to say I suffer from it. I don't suffer from it anymore. I don't think it's a suffering. It's something I've learned to deal with now that I understand it. But it's
kind of more like an amusement park ride now.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. But that's something we'll discuss later. I'll talk about my dreams, not now.
Okay.
I always thought I had problems mentally because my dreams are never consistent.
What do you mean you always thought? You never got confirmation that that's in fact...
No, yeah, we're still working on it.
Okay. Diagnosis hasn't come back yet.
No. I've always had weird dreams where, I'll be in my house doing something and all of a sudden it switches to the Flintstones. And then from there, and and in the dream, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. But then when you wake up, you're like, what the hell am I... What in God's name happened?
Speaking of houses, it's kind of weird. I always dream of the last house that I lived in and not my current house.
I tend to as well.
I
The
don't
house
know,
that I grew
I don't
up
know
in.
why. And I've been there for, I don't even know, like 13 years or something like that. Never dream about the current house. Doesn't make any sense. Like Natalie being it, the current cats that we have, all of the stuff we have, but it's all in the old house.
Yeah.
Now, I'll have dreams about my old house, but it's not my old house. But in the dream,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks nothing like my old place, but it makes sense in my dream that, oh, yeah, this is my old place.
You know what? I'm going to stop, actually, because I could just keep going about that.
Well, I have a
crazy
question
dream.
for Vinny.
Okay.
First. Okay, so you said that your dreams, they make sense as you're dreaming, but when you wake up, you're like, what the hell? Do you find that it makes it hard then to explain to people?
Absolutely.
See, that's what I say to Mike. I'm like, I can't even explain it to you
Yeah.
half the time. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then everything that was blue started smelling like chocolate.
There you go.
And then wait, hold up. Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
And once I've had that dream, let's say something happened in that dream, I don't know, I get something. All of a sudden, once I've woken up, that effect of me receiving that item or wanting that item or having that item is enhanced. Like that cup, if I had a dream about the cup, okay, and I woke up and I'm like, I really need to get that cup. Or I should find that cup.
Gotcha.
That's what happens to me. I don't know why. And then once I get it, done.
Yeah.
I forget about it. It's over and with. Weird.
Oh, I have one more thing. I just thought of it because of what you said.
Do it.
Sometimes I don't remember my dream or hardly at all, and I'm just like, God, I wish I could remember it. And then something that I see or hear or whatever throughout the day brings me back to that, and I remember it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would that be considered deja vu? Because sometimes that'll happen to me.
I was thinking the same thing just now, and I'm wondering, did we actually really dream that, or is our mind telling us that it was a dream when we remember later and we actually didn't?
See, for me, it's random. It's not like I should maybe explain a little bit better. That something throughout the day won't happen exactly like it happened in my dream. It just might be your Iron Man figure, for whatever reason, reminds me of an event that happened in my dream and has nothing to do with Iron Man.
But for some reason, it was a
Triggers
trigger.
it. Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
It's a trigger.
Stop triggering me.
But we'll go into dreams at great length in another episode. We've been talking about it for a while. We haven't gotten around to it, but
No.
but we will.
Yeah.
So anyhow, now onward to
And now, our main topic.
So, Mike.
Yeah.
What's our main topic for today?
well, our main topic. It's funny you should mention that because we have a main topic.
Okay.
And what is our main topic?
Anthology movies.
Oh, yeah.
What are our favorites?
Yeah. Now, the definition of an anthology movie is a movie about an animal that has human-like... No, wait, that's anthropomorphic. Oh, crap.
boy.
All of my notes are out the window then.
Bro.
Oh, son of a- No, anthology. Anthologies. Movies that have a whole bunch of little stories within them.
That makes it one
Sometimes,
big
and sometimes not within an overlying framework. Like there's another story and on the outside. Well, whatever. You know what? Let's just move.
Sure.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Fine, I'll go first. All right. Creepshow.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creepshow, one of my favorites.
Of course.
It came out in 1982. George A.
Hey, you sound like B. Arthur there
Ribbit.
for a minute.
It came out in 1982. George A. Romero directed it, and Stephen King wrote it. And it consists of 5 short stories. And one cool thing that I didn't realize until I was doing my research is that, the young little boy, Billy, who gets yelled at for reading the Creepshow
Oh, yeah.
comic.
Yeah, it's like his mom takes his comic and throws it out.
Something like that,
Yeah.
And the dad smacks him and tells the mom, you need to be harder on this kid, and, he's gonna rot in hell from, reading this crap and everything. That is Joe Hill.
The little kid.
The little kid Billy
That's
is
Stephen
Joe
King's
Hill.
son.
Yes. I had no idea.
I never knew that.
I didn't either. So it has 5 short stories. Each are titled Father's Day, The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill, Something to Tide You Over, The Crate, and They're Creeping Up on You. My favorite,
Which one?
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's revenge
Yeah.
and not always the, what do I want to say? it's not always a happy ending. It's not always the good that prevails necessarily. So, well, in all of these stories, you have stars like Ed Harris, Adrienne Barbeau, Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen, just to name a few throughout all these stories. But yeah, Father's Day is my favorite, and basically, it's about a nasty, cranky old man, Nathan, who he had his daughter's name is Bedelia, and he actually had her boyfriend, or I don't know if it was like fiance, but like her boyfriend killed in a hunting accident.
Yeah.
So Nathan's a sick old man, and Bedelia eventually snaps and kills her father. That smashes his head in with an ashtray, right?
I think so.
Just beats him to death on Father's Day, and the family covers it up. So sometime after that, the family is getting together at the estate for dinner, and Bedelia decides to visit her father's grave. Well, he comes back to life, strangles her, and then goes on a rampage trying to kill the rest of the family. And it's cool because at the end, he walked into a room with two of the survivors and with one of the family members' head on a platter, complete with candles, and says, "I've got my cake." It's great.
That was the best part.
It's great.
That was the best part. I love that.
There's gifs of that, memes and all. I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
The whole deal with that movie, people have said over the years, a lot of people I've talked to about it, they say, oh, well, that was based on the old EC comics. And, well, it was based on the format. Mm-hmm. But those stories were not old EC comic
no, they
stories
weren't.
Like Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror and all of that. So it was in the, flavor.
Exactly, like the 50s style.
It was thrilling for me. The colors in that movie, the comic book-like, crazy, the background would disappear, and then there would just be these angular color shapes behind them where they were, like, screaming, ah! Like all of that. It was so ridiculous and over the top. Crazy entertaining and scary.
Yeah.
There was some scary bits there.
And there was some comedy to it.
That too.
They had some laughs. All right, who's next?
I can go next because I'm really interested in Mike's.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like Natalie Jane, I enjoyed Creepshow. I liked Creepshow 2.
That was cool, too.
I saw that when I was a kid. It scared the hell out of me. It was directed by Michael Gornick. Okay. And it's only 3 stories. It's not 5. One of the...
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had, unfortunately, they don't name it here, but you had the Lake Goo.
Right.
Okay. The Hitchhiker.
Of course.
And they describe the other one as the Vengeful Wooden Native. Okay.
Chief Woodenhead.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
My favorite was the Hitchhiker. It's about a woman who's basically driving home late at night. Hitchhiker's on the side of the road. She accidentally hits him, and she keeps going.
Yeah.
Well, over the course of her drive home, she winds up seeing him again and again. By the end of the movie, he's by the tree, and she just slams him into the tree and keeps slamming him to the tree until he's just nothing but a bloody pulp. She finally gets back to her home, pulls into the garage, and there he is, a bloody pulp yelling, "Thanks for the ride, lady."
Yeah, that was great. That was the best part, was that "thanks for the ride" lady.
Yeah.
And just like in the first Creepshow, that "I want my cake,"
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Good
loved the
stuff.
movie. Yeah, I was a kid when I saw most of the movies that I have here. I was a kid when I saw them. Scared the hell out of them.
Now, I was living here in Delaware when that came out. And of course,
really?
when we saw it in the theater, everybody's freaking out because the Hitchhiker...
He had the sign that said Dover.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? You want to know what's funny?
No.
Is that I didn't think this until I moved here. We were talking about Creepshow 2 and the whole Dover thing, and I said, yeah, that lady was probably from Wilmington. Because the way she drove...
Wow.
Because I don't really know where she was coming from, but I was just
Wow.
being facetious. And like, yeah, she's probably from Wilmington.
Wow, what a terrible thing to say. And to all of our friends who live in northern Delaware in the Wilmington area, they know exactly what she's talking about
No,
because they'll agree with her.
They complain as well. I hear it the most from them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to say it.
All right, I can't wait for Mike's.
Okay, well, here's my first one. This is from 1971 from a company called Amicus, and it's a British film company. The House That Dripped Blood. This was actually one of the first movies that I saw in the theater as a kid. One of the first horror movies. The first one that I ever saw was Willard. That was the first horror movie I saw. And shortly after that, I think I saw Escape from the Planet of the Apes. which was not necessarily horror, but horrified me. So anyhow, The House That Dripped Blood. This was written by Robert Bloch.
Fantastic writer.
You know, there's your pedigree right there. This one had 4 stories. Their first one was Method for Murder. That had Denham Elliott in it. He played a writer who was out in the country, had his little country estate, and he wrote like murder mystery novels. And he started imagining that the murderer in his novel, a guy named Dominic, he was imagining that he was seeing him. He was a strangler. And he would like see him in the corner of the room. And he's like, wait, did I actually see him? And just like the old EC comics, these all had the same sort of format. You have some horrible people and they do horrible things. And then they get their poetic justice at the end. You know, there's revenge. There's always revenge. Next one was one called Waxworks that had Peter Cushing in it. That was really, really cool. There was another one called The Cloak, which was a kind of a vampire story that had John Pertwee, who played Doctor Who way back, like late 60s, mid 60s. Ingrid Pitt was also in that one, and she was in Countess Dracula. But my favorite episode in that movie was called Sweets for the Sweet, and that was written by Richard Matheson, who we all know from, he wrote The Incredible Shrinking Man. He did a lot of Night Gallery episodes and Twilight Zones. And okay, so in this story, Christopher Lee is a single father, and he has a little girl, and he lives in this little country home, and he is a bastard, which Christopher Lee was always really great at playing those kind of guys. Horrible, mean. He was very, very strict with his daughter, and he hires a nanny to come in and tutor her and take care of her. And the nanny's noticing that, you know, she doesn't have that little girl kind of stuff. She doesn't have a lot of toys. And, you know, he's like, well, she doesn't need toys. And blah, blah, blah. You know, he's so strict. She starts introducing some toys into the girl's life. Christopher Lee's like, okay, I'm all right with that. Then she gives her a doll, and he freaks. He grabs the doll. He's like, no. She will not have a doll. And I believe he throws it in the fireplace. Burns it up right in front of the kid.
What a jerk.
Yeah. Well, what we find out is the girl's mother was a witch. And I'm not sure if he killed her. I can't remember. But she was dead. She was a witch. And he was afraid that his daughter would follow in her footsteps.
Gotcha.
Which, of course, according to this movie, witches are a bad thing. And I don't particularly believe in that. But so one night, the power goes out. Christopher Lee's fumbling around. He's like, there's no light. Can't find a flashlight. He's going to look for some candles. He knows where there's some candles. He's going to light some candles. All the candles are gone. The wax candles. Well, he finds his daughter, little girl. She had the candles. She had melted them down into a little doll. And the little doll had, like little bits of razor stubble that came out of his electric razor, you know, for hair and stuff. And he's like, oh my gosh, she made a voodoo doll. I mean, doesn't even know it. He's like, give me the doll. Give me the doll. And she's like, He's like, come on, give it to me. She's sitting in front of the fireplace, right?
Oh no.
So she's like, no, I'm not. Nope. She throws it in the fireplace just so he can't have it. And he starts screaming. Oh,
whoops.
God. Great stuff. Really great stuff. The little girl was played by Chloe Franks. And we all saw her in, remember the Tales from the Crypt movie? And All Through the House segment with Joan Collins with the Santa Claus, the insane guy outside. And the little girl, that was Chloe Franks.
Okay.
Yeah. She let Santa Claus in at the end. Look, Mommy. He was a strangler.
That kid's a troublemaker as far as I'm concerned.
You're right.
Man.
Yeah.
Great movie, though. Okay, next.
All right.
Natalie.
Me.
Do it.
Yes. Okay. My second one is Rampo Noir.
Oh.
It's Japanese. It came out in 2005, and it's 4 short stories based on the stories of Edogawa Ranpo, which is a wordplay on Edgar Allan Poe. His real name is
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And his real name is Hirai Taro. So, 4 stories. You have Mars Canal, Mirror Hell, The Caterpillar, and Crawling Bugs. All are good, but if I have to pick my favorite, I'm going to go with Mirror Hell. And as a bonus, Tadanobu Asano stars in 3 of the 4
Oh, really?
stories. Yeah, he plays different characters in all of them. They're not connected. They're not connected or anything, so they're all independent stories. So in this one, Tadanobu Asano plays a detective who's investigating the deaths of 2 women. And if I remember correctly, their faces were either burned off or torn off somehow, but these women's faces are missing. And so he's investigating their deaths, and he connects 2 men to the murders, one which had an intimate relationship with both of the women. So he's definitely a person of interest.
Yeah.
It turns out he's also a mirror maker, and a mirror was found at both of the death scenes. And it kind of gets into kind of creepy where he thinks the occult might be involved. So that's where that one is. It was really cool.
You're not going to tell us more?
No.
Oh.
No. Nothing more needs to be
And
said.
if you like it, go and see it.
I've
Yeah.
heard the title. I know of the movie. Had no idea it was an anthology movie.
I have it at home. I have it.
Another one for the list.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, mine is very simple. Twilight Zone, the movie.
Oh, sure.
Fantastic movie. I saw it again when I was a kid. It actually introduced me to the old Twilight Zones. My parents never watched it or anything like that. Well, I saw that and I was like, wow, this is great. Well, I went back and looked at all the old, Twilight Zone movies, shows, and wow.
Yeah.
Just great.
Yeah.
I'm going to read to you the synopsis instead of trying to remember it because my mind is messed up right now. So basically, it was directed by Hollywood's famous directors based on TV's most popular anthology series. And it's bookended. The first episode or part was a remake of A Quality of Mercy. And it's all about this bigoted man who hates basically everybody except for himself, and he gets transported into Nazi Germany.
Yeah, the Vic Morrow.
Yes, which was basically his last movie. He was killed on set with 2 other children during that filming. But very good movie, very good, I should say, segment. And then from there went to a remake of Kick the Can.
Oh, yeah, right.
Basically, this old gentleman comes by an old age home and with that grants the wish of youth on all the old inhabitants.
Am I imagining things, or was that Scatman Crothers?
Scatman Crothers.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Or if you ever watched, if you're young like me, watch Transformers, he was Jazz on Transformers.
Oh, was he?
Yep. Great. It was really nice. It's actually a really nice story about just being who you are and living in your age and being young at heart. Really nice. And then you have the one here. It's a remake of it's called A Good Life. And basically it was a woman traveling cross country to a new job, and she picks up a young boy, brings him back home, and winds up being transported into like a cartoon type world.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And this kid basically kidnapped all the inhabitants of his house and made them into his family. Another wild, creepy, strange type setup that had almost like a Warner Brothers feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah, the TV had a really important role.
Yeah.
in
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like, stuff came out of the TV, like Tasmanian Devil, like terrifying. That was cool.
The scariest part of that was when they showed the sister, she had no mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Because she always yelled at him.
Yep.
So he took her mouth away.
Yeah.
And then the last one was a remake of a classic called Terror at 20,000 Feet.
Oh, yeah.
That originally starred
William Shatner.
or James T. Kirk.
Yeah.
This one starred John Lithgow.
What was that?
James T. Kirk. I'm trying to do my best bones.
Oh.
This one starred John Lithgow, who gave a really great performance.
Yeah, yeah.
And I actually felt really bad for him. It really just fantastic remake of that episode. And we actually play it whenever we have to go fly somewhere.
Oh, really? Oh, boy. Why do you torture yourself?
That's exactly it. But that's my favorite. That's one of my other favorites.
That's cool. John Lithgow. He's a hell of an actor.
He's great.
Yeah.
Did you ever see The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai?
Yes.
No.
Lithgow was in that. Dr. Emilio Lizardo. Laugh while you can, the monkey boy. He
You
was.
showed me the trailer,
Oh, my
and
God,
it
he's-
cracked me up.
Yeah.
I need to see
It's pretty
it.
wild.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I've got that at home.
Well, what the heck?
I don't know what the heck.
Boy. guy. I loved him as Professor Solomon in Third Rock from the Sun. Loved that show.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. That was a great show, I hear.
They didn't hire me
never
because
saw it.
I'm smart. They hired me because I'm gorgeous.
Oh, boy.
I screwed that up, but whatever. you get the gist of it.
Well, my next one came out in 1972 from a company called Amicus. Oh, wait. Just like my last one. It was written by Robert Bloch. Just like my last one. This one was called Asylum. Amicus was obviously on a roll. They hit something good with House of Drip Blood, and they were like, man, people love this stuff, so let's put out a bunch of them. Basic premise of that movie was there's what do you call it? Oh, an asylum. There's a guy who, like a psychiatrist. He comes to the place, he's applying for a job. He's there for his interview, and the head of the asylum says, okay, listen, you're going to be replacing a Dr. Starr who went insane. For you to, pass the test, I want you to go and interview all the inmates and see if you can figure out who is Dr. Starr.
Wow.
So therein lies the framework of the, multi-story plot. So he, talks to several inmates, hears their stories, and they all have really scary, horrifying twists. The different episodes was, Frozen Fear was one of my favorites. A guy's having an affair with a woman. Mm-hmm. He's married, of course. Kills the wife, chops her up, wraps her up in brown paper and twine, puts her in the freezer in the basement. And, of course, we all know what's going to happen, right?
Oh, no.
No, please tell us.
Well, the parts come back to life, get out of the freezer, and start chasing him around the house. It's ridiculous, but it was very scary. Mm-hmm. That head rolling around, it's just, you can't see the head, it's all wrapped up, but you can see the paper like...
Mm-hmm. Was this the one where she's kind of like OCD and she's constantly turning
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to get to
I'm
that.
combining stories here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's later. So that was Frozen Fear. There was another one called Lucy Comes to Stay. That one had Charlotte Rampling and Britt Eklund, and that was sort of a kind of a split personality sort of thing. Mm-hmm. She has a best friend named Lucy, and everybody's like, Lucy doesn't exist. But we see Lucy, and Lucy's telling her, hey, listen, you know how you get out of this? Kill everybody. So it was a cool kind of psychological thriller. Sure. Mm-hmm. There was another one called Mannequins of Horror. That was... I think I talked about this on a previous episode. Yes, I did. It was on the Doll episode. Mm-hmm. That had Herbert Lom and Patrick McGee, and that was the one where the guy created these little tiny mannequins, these little robots with lifelike heads of people, and he could project his mind into these little dolls, and they could kill people. That was cool. But my favorite one, and I have talked about this previously, is called The Weird Tailor, and it had Barry Morse and Peter Cushing. Premise of this is there's a tailor and his wife. They're barely making it. He's got a little shop, and he really needs business, and they're worried about paying the bills, and they're behind on the rent and all that. Peter Cushing is like a fancy rich guy that comes in. And he says, hey, listen, I want you to make a suit for me, and I want you to use this very special, like iridescent material. It's like beautiful, and it glows, and it's... Guy's like, I've never seen anything like this. And Peter Cushing says, yeah, here's all the dimensions, not dimensions, but what do you call it? The measurements to make this suit. And here are very special written instructions. You must follow them to the letter. You can only work on it from midnight to 6 a.m. You must do this. You must, the guy's like, I don't know. I can do it. We really need the money. Peter Cushing says, I'm gonna give you a load of money. Don't worry about it. So the guy's like thrilled. He's like, yes, our prayers have been answered. We're going to be able to pay the bills. And he's working his fingers to the bone, staying up all night, and he's exhausted, because he's not getting any sleep, and he's trying to finish this thing on time. So he finishes it, and he tells his wife, listen, I'm going to go deliver the package to Peter Cushing's house. So he goes to the place, and the lights are off. And in fact, the electricity's not working. Okay, whatever. There's candles lighting the place. Peter Cushing invites him in, and he says, listen, I have to be honest with you. I'm broke. I don't have any money. My son died, and this suit that you made has special magical qualities. That material has magical qualities, it will bring him back to life. And the tailor is like, no. You promised that you were going to pay me. It's kind of like a life or death situation for him. He's going to be out on the street if he doesn't get this money. Peter Cushing's like, I got nothing for you. So they kind of get into a little struggle. Peter Cushing is accidentally killed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately. So the tailor takes the suit back, and he tells his wife, he gives it to her, he's like, burn it, get rid of this, just hide all. She's like, what's going on? He's like, I can't tell you. He doesn't want it. He murdered a guy. So he gives the suit to the wife, says, throw it in the furnace. So he checks back in with her, maybe, I don't know, the next day or something, the next night, and says, you did get rid of the suit, right? And she said, I couldn't stand it. It was so beautiful. He says, well, where is it? And she's like, oh, I put it on Otto. Who's Otto? It's the mannequin that they have in the store. It brings the mannequin to life. It's freaking awesome, man. Wow. Really, really cool. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, you're not going to tell us?
No. Well.
All right. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyhow,
Fine.
So that's it. Incredible movie, Asylum. Check it out.
All right. So my number one is Trick or Treat, 2007.
Oh,
Nice.
Of course.
Yes.
Yep.
Love that movie. It was directed by Michael Dougherty. Basically, you have 4 stories that all take place on Halloween, and the one common element that ties them all together is Sam. Sam is a creepy little kid.
Good old Sam.
I don't even know how to describe his ensemble. It's kind of like orange pajamas and with a burlap sack over his face. He's really cute kid.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the 4 stories are The Principal, The School Bus Massacre, Surprise Party, and Meet Sam. And my favorite, they're all my favorite, but if I had to pick one,
yeah.
It was so hard. I had to go with The School Bus Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So basically what that is, there's an urban legend that in 1977, there was a group of mentally challenged children, and they all went to a special school on a school bus because the parents were so embarrassed by them, so burdened by these children that they were sent away. And because of this burden, they paid the bus driver on Halloween to kill their children.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So he chains all the kids to the seats, and he's driving near a quarry, chains the
Right.
children to the seats, but one of them breaks loose and takes control of the bus and drives it into a lake,
Right.
killing all the children.
The end. Oh, no.
No, the driver escapes and is never heard from again. So these kids, this is present time now, they all get together and they decide that they want to go to the site where this urban legend happens. So they go there, and there's a group of mean girls making fun of the nerdy smart girl, and I think her glasses break and she can't see and stuff. And so these children that were killed come back to life out of the lake and just start creaming the kids. I mean, just it's brutal.
Wow.
And so the nerdy smart girl with her broken glasses, she escapes. She gets out unscathed.
Good for her.
Yeah. But it's just so funny because as she's walking home, she sees Sam in the distance, just watching her. And Sam is really cool. What Sam's thing is, I mean, he kind of ties all the stories together, just the fact that he's present, but he will destroy anyone that breaks any kind of Halloween tradition.
Yeah.
You see, I guess, what would you call it, the epilogue in the beginning? There's a couple.
The prologue.
Epilogue's the end.
Yeah.
The prologue.
Yeah.
You have a couple. The husband is really into Halloween. The wife not so much. And so I believe it's at the end of the movie, I think it is, I can't remember, there's so much stuff, but she decides that she's going to just start taking down, the Halloween decorations because Halloween's technically over.
Yeah.
She goes to blow out the jack-o'-lantern, and her husband says, no, you can't do that. You're breaking, Halloween tradition. She does it anyway, and Sam goes to town on her.
Oh, yeah.
He has a really cute lollipop. He crunches into it, and he'll just stab you in the face and stuff. I mean, he just goes crazy. Mike bought me the cutest thing. I'll have to post it on Twitter or Facebook or something.
It's a little Sam doll. He's probably about 10, 12 inches high. Motorized. So when you push the little button in his hand, he walks around, it plays the music, and he has the lollipop in his hand, and his arms go up, and he got...
You hear the crunching. The cats love it.
Cats freak out.
Yeah. Just stand there in awe of the thing. So, yeah, Trick or Treat. That's
Very
number
good
one.
movie. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, mine, very simple. We've actually talked about it a couple times. We've actually joked about it. Cat's Eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 3 stories. One's called Quitters. That was the first story. About a mob-related type of cigarette quitting program. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you have, what's the other one? The Ledge. A millionaire. And basically this cat's traveling.
Yeah,
So the cat gets picked up by the shady doctor in Quitters and is basically electrocuted to show what they'll do to the man who is supposed to quit smoking cigarettes, what they're going to do to his wife if he gets caught smoking.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to go any further than that. You'll love it. It's really funny, and the ending is really creepy on that story. Then the cat is, he escapes there and winds up getting picked up by a millionaire whose wife is cheating on him with a tennis expert who just so happens to, he played in an airplane. He was
Richard Mulligan?
No.
Hamper.
He played Stryker in Airplane.
Robert Hayes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost said Robert Hedges. Nah, it was Epstein.
Unfortunately, the tennis pro is unaware that the person he's having the affair with is the millionaire who just so happens to pick him up and make a bet that he can't get around the ledge of this building without falling.
Yep.
Well, again, things ensue, and the cat escapes. Mm-hmm. And then the last one's called The General. And throughout this whole story, throughout this whole movie, this cat is on a quest to find a little girl who's being threatened by a troll. Well, he finds this little girl who just so happens to be Drew Barrymore, who was, 8, 9 years old at the time?
Yeah.
And they wind up having a battle, this cat and this troll, while listening to a bad rendition of
Every Breath You Take.
Every Breath, thank you.
Yeah.
Right? And again, I won't tell you who wins, but really great movie. Great stories. It was fun.
Yeah.
Real fun. And you know what? In the third story, you really hate the mother of the little girl, Drew Barrymore. You just can't stand her because she wants to get rid of the cat. Mm-hmm. And she decides to take the cat, General, to a pound where they euthanize the animals. And they actually show the smokestack where they're burning the bodies. And it just really pissed you off. But watch it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's really cool.
You know, the recurring theme through all of these movies that we've mentioned, every one of the individual episodes, they're all what they call morality plays. Mm-hmm. You know, there's always, like I said, there's a bad person doing a bad thing, and then, there's some kind of tables are turned and they get what's coming to them. And that's always satisfying for the viewer. Mm-hmm. You know, you always want to... You mentioned happy endings earlier.
Yeah, and Father's Day, it's not really a happy ending. Everyone was kind of, shady in that, so...
Mm-hmm. I'm always just happy when the dead person kills the horrible living person. Mm-hmm. That's a happy ending to me.
And I'm just happy when cats live. They're victorious. They prevail and
I'm happy when the cat...
prove the mom wrong.
Exactly. And gets to eat that fish where it showed the bones and everything like animals actually eat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Are you going to... Oh, no.
Yeah, animals aren't meat eaters. A couple of months ago.
No.
A couple of months ago, we found a mouse head in the garage. Just a head. No body. No bone.
No bones.
There's a couple of guts there. But I was like, what the heck is that? It was like a big ball of fuzz, and it's got some red twine wrapped in it or something. And I got closer, and it was a freaking mouse head. Oh.
It was a tiny mouse.
Yeah.
Baby mouse.
But that's,
That's what cats do.
Yeah.
Cats.
Cats.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is better that it didn't end up in the kitchen or something.
That's true.
Whatever, but yeah,
That's true.
It's still
Because
sad.
once you have cats, next thing you have trolls, and then...
And you get bad, renditions of police music.
Exactly.
Yeah, and right after that, you have to listen to this song. Okay, so my last one,
Yeah.
it's called Vault of Horror. This one was made by a company called Amicus. Again, 1973. This was based on... Actually, the stories were based on old EC Comics stories. Vault of Horror was one of those books. There was one called Midnight Mess that involved vampires. There's one called This Trick'll Kill You, which was about a guy and his wife who go to India. They're magicians, and they see a magic rope trick performed by a street magician, and they want to steal the trick, and they end up killing somebody in order to get the trick, and of course they get what's coming to them.
Wow.
There's another one called Bargain in Death. There was another one called Drawn and Quartered, which had Tom Baker in it, another Doctor Who. Yeah. And that was cool. He was an artist, and he made, like a pact. It was like a voodoo kind of thing, to where he had like an enchantment put on his hand. So when he painted something, anything that happened to the painting would happen to the actual person or place or whatever.
Okay.
So if he drew a painting of someone and then tore the painting up, right? But that wasn't my favorite. My favorite one was called The Neat Job. And this had Terry Thomas in it, who I freaking love Terry Thomas. He's a great actor, comedic actor. The point of this thing, I don't even know what the point of this was. Don't be a jerk, I think is what it was.
Okay.
He was married, and he was so meticulous with everything in the house. Everything had to be perfect, and his wife tried to keep him happy by keeping the perfect household, and he was insane. He was like a drill sergeant.
Wow.
Oh, there's a speck of dust up here. What's wrong with you? How can you, and she was under a lot of stress.
Uh-huh.
In the basement, he had like a workshop set up where he had every size of nut and bolt and washer and nail all in individual little jars, and they're all perfectly labeled what size they are, and he had them all in order by size and on the shelves, and everything perfect. The cabinets in the kitchen, he had a checklist of what was in the cabinet on the cabinet door.
My God.
And if she took out a can of tomato, well, she had to erase one of the marks next to the column of tomatoes so that they could see that they only have 2, but they have 3 of the others, so they need to get one more. He was nuts, right? Obsessive, compulsive kind of guy. So this one day, she's hanging out at home, and she says, look, I'm going to kick back and relax. He's at work. He's getting home at 6 o'clock. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to play some records on the phonograph, and I'm just going to have a nice little drink and enjoy myself. Well, she sees it getting close to 6 o'clock. So she's like, all right, I have to tidy up. So she lifts up the glass that she was drinking out of. Oh, she didn't use a coaster.
Uh-oh.
So there's a little ring on the coffee table. She's like, oh man, I need to clean that up. So she accidentally hits the ice bucket and knocks the ice off on the floor. Oh crap. So she's got to clean all that up. And she's looking at the clock, and it's getting closer and closer to 6. And so she runs to the kitchen. Oh, she gets some furniture polish, and she puts it on a rag, and she's trying to remove the ring on the coffee table, and she knocks the bottle over, and it spills on the carpet. Oh no, now she's got to clean that up, and she's losing her mind. It's getting closer to 6. He's going to come home and lose his mind, She's under so much stress and pressure. She bumps into the wall, hits a painting falls off the wall, the nail pulls out, tears the wallpaper. She's like, oh my God. So she runs to the basement. She's got to find a new nail to put the painting up. And she's like going through the stuff, and then the shelf falls, and all the nuts and bolts are everywhere. It's a huge mess. And she's got a hammer, and she's trying to find the right size nail. Oh my God. He comes home, and he comes down into the basement and says, what are you doing? She's holding the hammer. He's confronting her. He's yelling at her. Why can't you do anything neatly? Why can't you do anything neatly? She whacks him in the head with the hammer. Dead. So then, the scene cuts. We come back. She's okay. She's cool. She's happy. She's got everything under control, in order. And then we look at the shelves in the basement. She had taken his body, completely chopped it up into all of its component parts, and had them all in little jars, all neatly labeled. Eyes, nose. Oh, he got what was coming to him.
Wow.
He got what he wanted.
Freaking great story, man. Great movie. Vault of Horror, 1973. Check it out. And if you can find the uncut version, it contains about probably 10 seconds of material that was cut. It was originally R-rated, and when it got released here in the U.S., they were like, no, you cannot show a beer tap in a guy's neck. You can't do, yeah, they
Wow.
cut out very, very, very minor parts, but that's, it is available uncut now on DVD. So, check it out. Yep, so we're breaking down. All right, cool. That's a wrap.
That's awesome. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep.
Stay spooky.
It's Father's Day. Where's my cake?
Can't you do anything neatly? Can't you do anything neatly?